think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
56, Mike, 56. It's out time. It's out time, guys. It's out time. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Here we go.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Steps away to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. Now Lutz for the field goal try. And Lutz's kick is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Mahomes going to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now it's Mahomes again. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. That'll go down as an 84-yard punt return. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So what would be
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He's got a man, complete. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense And you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
On first down, it's Gurley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Flushed out right. And his pass incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Here's Mahomes to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
First down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Pick me up. Here we go.
They go play action. Now Mahomes going deep for Hopkins. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what I can't miss was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando.
56 is the mark. Here we go. Mark 50.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Todd Gurley taking it in. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Lutz to try to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You
down.
don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
He finds Beckham, complete. Touchdown! Odell Beckham, 71 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing. But there are plenty of other guys out there, too. If Zeke comes along, you got to take him. Melvin Gordon, if they both come to camp, we'll see how that works out. How about Todd Gurley and his health? Because, boy, when he touches the ball, great things usually happen.
And then wondering, someone like Le'Veon Bell took the year off, now a new offense. But if he starts going like he used to, he's obviously going to be a good one.
Fresh legs is what you're counting on with Le'Veon Bell and a fresh start in New York with the Jets. And if you're looking for an exciting rookie, remember this. Kyler Murray's going to get the ball from the first snap, and they're going to leave him in there throughout. And as long as he stays healthy, he's going to pitch it around the park a bunch. Don't be surprised if he gets a little love, too.
On 1st down, Mahomes. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Gurley, incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Hey, watch the slant.
Caught left side. It's Beckham. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
That's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
1st down and 10.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Browns take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Check. Check. Check.
Hey, 43.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mahomes. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? That they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game. And we see a lot of big plays, as we just saw there.
Second and 6 at the 26.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check pass. Check pass.
Now Mahomes. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is caught.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins there to make the grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. In depth. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And it's caught. Touchdown. Kellen Winslow there to make the grab. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like that memory was a little too long there.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from
Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
56 at the 38-yard line.
From the 38, Mahomes. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box. Touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And he takes this one back. The Browns defense has a touchdown.
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? And he said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for two up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for two late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, could also result in a melee later, though.
Let's go, baby.
They'll take over. First down and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. J.J. Watt picks up his second sack of the afternoon. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now here's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a third down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab.
Well, that kind of catch is supposed to pay off with at least a first down, isn't it?
Instead, he'll just add it to his highlight reel, but they don't pick up the first.
Yeah, he gets the yardage, he gets the catch, but now they have a decision to make.
They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Holt. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Mahomes now on first down. Wide open receiver, complete. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
I don't want to go over the top here, but that's still a nice touchdown. I know they're being blown out of the stadium, but for this team to go downfield and score when this game is essentially over, that shows me a lot.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now it's Gurley. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard fourth down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. Mahomes going to throw it here. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something. Continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. He finds his target. Beckham. The 20. 10. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points. But he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down. With this deficit, he might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Buying time to his left. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win.